Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE NXT on June 24th, 2015, and this week they did a fairly good job of story building. A couple of their programs, or one of their programs that did a really good job storytelling. They started out the show with Hideo Itami coming out and basically updating everybody about his injury and what he's going to do when he comes back. He gets interrupted by Kevin Owens, who is looking for an apology, all that kind of stuff, because Hideo called him a bad person a few weeks ago. Of course, Hideo doesn't do that. Basically sticks to his guns, and it looks like they're going to have Kevin Owens come down and further hurt Hideo Itami, but gets interrupted by Finn Balor. I like this aspect of the brawl. You're finally getting a little bit more interaction between Finn Balor and Kevin Owens. In this case, going into the July 4th show in Tokyo. And also the aspect of them continually playing off of what happened between Finn Balor and Rhino was a good way of going to leading into a main event match between the two of them. You also had the continuation of what was building of Finn Balor from the week before, and now you had part two. You got a little bit more of what he does in his life. They did these things where he was building Legos and everything in that sense. Talking about his time in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So they're kind of setting up a potential, almost of a semi-homecoming, because he's always treated the place like his second home and everything like that. So again, another good build between Finn Balor and Kevin Owens, and building Finn Balor up a little bit more for what most people would probably assume would be him winning the match on the July 4th show. So we'll see how everything goes there. The main event match with him and Rhino was a relatively good one again. I like the aspect of Kevin Owens being out there. You're getting a little bit more interaction between the two of them, and it kind of puts a little bit more emphasis into that match when they finally do the match on July 4th. So, other than that, though, they didn't really. You didn't really have too much story build outside of that. I mean, you had a couple other matches. You had Cass and Enzo going up against Jason Jordan and Sylvester LaFour. Nothing really big happening there. You didn't even really get much in the terms of them attempting to continue a story with Wesley and Blake or anything like that. It was just kind of there, them having a match. You also had the match with Dana Brooke in there. Again, nothing too much, though they did produce it in such a way where they had an interview with Charlotte right afterwards. And at this point, I would still say, ring-wise, Dana Brooke isn't very good yet in any way. But character-wise, I think she's playing off of the boos really well. And she's at least playing a decent heel, just isn't that good of producing matches yet. She's missing some timing spots and everything in that sense. But, you don't know, in our case, we don't really know how much experience she had with wrestling before coming into it, and she's definitely giving it an attempt and is getting a little bit better in certain spots. So we'll see if it progresses any further, or she just kind of continues not being so good down the road. But like I said, there wasn't, outside of the Finn Balor and Kevin Owens build-up, and the continuation with Samoa Joe as well. The Samoa Joe promo backstage was a relatively good one. Definitely gave off the intensity that Samoa Joe usually does, and I'm glad that they're letting him do that in that way. It also helped out Finn Balor after the match with Rhino, because Kevin Owens and Rhino had taken over on Finn Balor, and Samoa Joe came out and made the save, probably setting up some kind of tag match somewhere down the road, if not for next week's show. And again, I like that entire build there, and you have the continuation of something with Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe, because he definitely wants to keep going after Samoa Joe definitely wants to keep going after Kevin Owens, especially storyline wise, because of how the match went the week before. So overall, in that case, on that build, I feel like they did a really good job. The rest of the show kind of it felt like it was there. Didn't really do too much. Like I said, you had a little bit of continuation between Dana Brooke and Charlotte, but that it wasn't like direct interaction. It was like, oh, you had Dana Brooke out there with a match, and then you had an interview with Charlotte talking about what she wants to do to Dana Brooke afterwards. So nothing too much in that sense. So overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the build between Kevin Owens and Finn Balor throughout the show, and we'll see where everything goes. I don't know how long they're going to be playing off the whole Bull Dempsey trying to get into shape storyline, because they were showing the pictures and everything, like him doing everything the wrong way. A little funny, but also not. We'll see where they decide to go with it. I mean, it could lead to some kind of interesting television, but we'll see where it goes down the road here. So that is my review this week for WWE NXT, and I thank you guys for watching.